A book is a shared, programmable hallucination. And it's a mistake to think that a book is less immersive than a movie or a game. Sensory organs manipulated by those more passive entertainment mediums are only important as an input. But the beauty of words is that they are convincing enough without sensory manipulation. They offer the information directly. That subtle, continual effort that is required by reading, that unfortunately so many are put off by, puts you into an active state with the text. By reading them, to some extent, you are the words. Physically, here you are staring at the sheet of a long, dead tree marked with various symbols in Times New Roman or Courier. But mentally, you are steeped in experience. Experience not limited by the current state of tech like all other mediums. The journey depends solely on your active participation, meaning reading, and the skill of the writer. Visual and audio experience only scratches the surface of mind. The greatest of film and gaming recognize this, and that is why long after you're done experiencing a particular work, you're left with a distinct feeling, one that transcends a plot point, a character action, a certain setting, or even theme, an essence that cannot be subdivided or simplified. But those mediums can only hint at this magic. They are still inherently aesthetic, tied to the obvious, meant to be seen. Now, novels are something more. They live in essence, herding your internal monologue like a dream you keep hitting snooze over and over for just so you can see what happens next. Viewers of visual media are supplied with a complete painting, while readers of fiction are the paint. You are the director. You decide subconsciously how to fill in those precious gaps. And no matter how obsessively a certain piece of fiction may adhere to plot structure, each and every reader will have a different subjective experience because of this. The art form itself is a meeting of minds. For along with their skills, the writer also offers their own cognitive flavor, and the very best of which can read each and every one of your minds. And they can only read your thoughts because they wrote them into you. They do this by carefully incepting concepts, feelings, and at times blatant confusion into your strand of thoughts. They take you into a world, convince you that you want something out of this world, and only give it to you after withholding it so long that you begin to question whether or not that whispered promise had ever existed. We've been fooled into accepting instant gratification as opposed to full gratification. But what is gratification if it's anything less than full? This is why we doom scroll. This is why we are in constant search of stimulation on a medium that will never actually satisfy us. And it doesn't take a certain type of person to read, but it does take a little commitment. If you're not used to reading, whether you've found yourself in a bit of a slump or you've just never had a period where you've read strictly for pleasure, please take the time to find a work that truly interests you. And even if it takes you an entire year to get through one book, less than one page a day, I promise you that by the end, you will achieve a sense of gratification that none of my videos or any video or any movie, show, or game could offer you. Unless it's the Kaiju Preservation Society. Just kidding. It's not my cup of tea, but it is for many others. And if you're into science fiction or fantasy, check out some of my reviews or my lists. But do so actively, knowing that you're on the hunt for something that will light a spark in you. And then read it. And for weekly book reviews, as well as updates on my journey as an author, please subscribe to Stellar Reads. Also, seasoned readers, please leave a comment about your favorite book, whether that's the book that got you into reading or one that you feel like would be a great entry point for unseasoned readers. Let's get a big list here of stuff that can get people hooked. See you next week.